Imagine a world where cancer, the disease that has taken millions of lives and left countless families grieving, could be defeated, not with expensive drugs or invasive treatments, but with a simple plant. A plant that grows wild, ignored by most, but that contains an unimaginable healing power. It seems like a fairy tale, doesn't it? An unattainable utopia. What if I told you that this plant exists, not in the real world, but in the story that can change the way you view health, disease, and the power you have over your body? And if you stick around to the end of the story, you'll discover the real secret behind this miracle plant, a secret that could transform your life, even without an instant cure. But before we continue, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay updated when we publish new content like this. The morning sun filtered softly through the branches of the cherry blossom trees, illuminating the small courtyard of the temple. 100 people, sitting cross-legged on straw mats, waited in silence. The air was filled with a mixture of incense and anticipation. In the center, on a raised platform, sat an elderly Buddhist monk, Master Jian. His face, furrowed with wrinkles as deep as ancient mountain paths, exuded an infectious serenity. When Master Jian opened his eyes, a gentle smile curled his lips. His voice, hoarse but firm, broke the silence. Welcome, children of the earth. Today, we will talk about a gift. A powerful gift, a hidden gift, a gift that the pharmaceutical industry does not want you to know about. A murmur ran through the crowd. Master Jian raised a hand, calling for silence. For millennia, nature has provided us with everything we need to live in harmony, to heal, to thrive. But modern man, blinded by greed and haste, has forgotten this ancient wisdom. He has relied on colored pills, chemical potions, invasive interventions, forgetting the healing power that resides in plants, water, air, and the sun. He paused, letting his words resonate. Today, I will tell you about a plant, a humble plant, one that grows in many parts of the world. A plant that, according to ancient scriptures and supposed recent discoveries, seems to have the power to defeat cancer in just 24 hours. A buzz of disbelief spread through the audience. Master Jian smiled. I understand your skepticism. I too, at first, was incredulous. But I imagined seeing with my own eyes. I simulated studies. I created thought experiments. And now, I am here to share this metaphor with you. This plant, dear friends, let's call it Florus mirabilis. Do not look for it in your garden, because it exists only in our history, as a symbol of a greater power. Master Jian rose slowly, using a bamboo stick to help himself. He approached a small earthenware pot on a table beside him. Inside, he imagined a plant with green lanceolate leaves and small white flowers. This, he said, gently stroking an imaginary leaf, is the plant I am talking about. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it majestic? Yet in its simplicity, it contains immense power, the power of reflection. He sat back down, crossing his legs in the lotus position. Now, listen carefully. I'm going to explain to you how this plant would work, and why the pharmaceutical industry might try to keep it hidden if it existed. Cancer, as many of you know, is a terrible disease. A disease that eats away at the body from the inside, that extinguishes the light of life. Every year, millions of people die from this scourge, and the pharmaceutical industry, with its expensive and often ineffective treatments, profits off the back of suffering. But what if I told you that there could be a natural, affordable cure? What if I told you that this plant could, in theory, destroy cancer cells without harming healthy cells? He paused, looking into the eyes of the people in front of him. The Florus mirabilis would contain a unique substance, which we will call vitelin. This substance would act in 3 fundamental ways. It would block the cancer's diet. Tumor cells, as Dr. Otto Warburg, a Nobel Prize winner for medicine, discovered, have a different metabolism than healthy cells. They feed mainly on glucose in an oxygen-poor environment. Vitelin would interrupt this process, depriving the tumor cells of their nourishment. It would rebalance the internal environment. Cancer thrives in an acidic environment. Vitelin, thanks to its hypothetical alkalizing properties, would restore balance in the body, creating an environment hostile to tumor cells. And finally, it would enhance the immune system. Vitelin would stimulate the production of immune cells, our natural soldiers, which are able to recognize and destroy tumor cells. Master Jian smiled. It's a perfect mechanism, isn't it? Nature, in her infinite wisdom, could have provided us with a solution, but the pharmaceutical industry, which makes billions from selling chemotherapy drugs, would have no interest in spreading its knowledge. A man in the crowd raised his hand. "Master," he asked, "if this plant were so powerful, why wouldn't doctors prescribe it?" Master Jian nodded. "That's an important question. The answer, unfortunately, is complex. There are many factors at play: ignorance, misinformation, pressure from pharmaceutical lobbies, the lack of independent scientific research. But above all, there is fear. Fear of losing control, fear of losing profits, fear of admitting that we may have overlooked simpler, more natural solutions." An elderly woman, with tears in her eyes, came forward. "Master, my son has cancer. The doctors have given him only months to live. Could I use this imaginary plant to help him?" Master Jian smiled at her with compassion. "My child, I cannot give you guarantees about something that does not exist. Each case is different. Each person reacts differently. But I can tell you this: Floris mirabilis, if it existed, would have no harmful side effects. It could be taken in the form of an infusion, an extract, a powder. It could be the symbol of a combination with other natural remedies, such as an alkaline diet, rich in fruits and vegetables, and a healthy lifestyle." She picked up a small, empty cloth bag from the table beside her. "I do not have dried Floris mirabilis leaves here. I did not collect them myself, with love and respect. I will not distribute them to those in need. But remember, this imaginary plant is only a tool. True healing comes from within, from your mind, your spirit, your faith, your ability to consciously care for yourself." He paused, looking everyone in the eye. "Let me tell you the true intent of this story. The Floris mirabilis does not exist. It is a symbol of our tendency to look for quick and miraculous solutions, to delegate our health to others, instead of taking responsibility for our own well-being. A symbol of the power of the pharmaceutical industry, which often puts profit before health. A symbol, finally, of the wisdom of nature, which offers us everything we need, if only we learn to listen to it." He stood up, with the help of his staff. "Now, children of the earth, go in peace. Spread this awareness. Speak of this concept. Help those who suffer by being informed and choosing consciously. And never forget, nature is our mother, our healer, our hope, but we are the true architects of our destiny." The sun, now high in the sky, bathed the temple courtyard in golden light. The people slowly rose, with a new sense of responsibility in their hearts. They approached Master Jian, one by one, not to receive a material gift, but to receive a teaching. And as Master Jian greeted them, he whispered to each of them, "The truth is like a seed. Plant it in your heart, and let it sprout through knowledge and awareness." Did you know that after the age of 60 our bones and joints are at risk mainly due to 3 foods in particular. In this video, we will see what these foods are and why they are real killers for our bones. And if you stay until the end of the video, we will reveal the 3 things you must do to keep your bones and joints healthy. But before we continue, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay updated when we publish new content like this. A low buzz, like a gentle wave, ran through the room. Older people, their hair reflecting the silver light, took their seats, their faces marked by a mixture of curiosity and a slight apprehension. They had come to listen to Dr. Kenji Tanaka, an internationally renowned Japanese physician, a bridge between the age-old wisdom of Eastern medicine and the discoveries of modern science. The title of his lecture, projected in bold letters, was a warning: 3 killers that destroy the bones and the joints of the elderly. Dr. Tanaka stepped onto the stage with a measured step, his figure small but exuding a surprising amount of authority. He wore a simple white coat, but his dark eyes shone with a penetrating intelligence. He bowed formally, a gesture of respect that immediately captured the attention of everyone present. "Good afternoon, everyone," he began in a calm but steady voice, a voice that carried the weight of experience. "I am honored to be here to share with you crucial information about your bone and joint health, information that, unfortunately, is all too often overlooked." He paused briefly, calculatedly. "Did you know that most people over the age of 60 unknowingly consume 3 types of foods that, day after day, silently wear down their joints?" A surprised murmur spread through the audience. The most worrying thing is that these foods could be in your daily diet right now, without you even realizing it. He moved closer to the edge of the stage, as if to establish a more direct connection. Do you ever wake up in the morning with stiff joints? Do your knees hurt when you go up or down the stairs? Have you ever wondered, with a sense of frustration, why your joints seem to be getting progressively weaker, even though you try to eat healthily? Many in the audience nodded, recognizing themselves in those words. If you answered yes to these questions, it is very likely that you are unknowingly consuming foods that are damaging your joints. Many believe that simply taking calcium supplements will solve the problem, but the reality, unfortunately, is much more complex. Today, I will reveal to you which are the 3 killers that threaten the health of your bones and joints, and above all, I will explain how you can protect yourself. A silence full of expectation and hope spread through the room. Before we delve into identifying these enemies, Dr. Tanaka continued, it is essential to understand how our joints, these extraordinary masterpieces of biological engineering, work. A detailed image of a knee joint appeared on the screen behind him, an anatomical representation that revealed its intrinsic complexity. Think of your joints as sophisticated bearings, he explained, using a simple but effective metaphor. These bearings, placed between your bones, allow them to glide smoothly over each other, without friction, allowing you to walk, run, bend, grasp objects, basically live fully. He pointed to the projected image. This cushion is made of cartilage, an extraordinary tissue, both resistant and elastic, a true prodigy of nature. However, like all precious things, cartilage is also delicate. With the passage of time, with continuous use, with the inevitable process of aging, this protective cushion tends to wear out, to become thinner, progressively losing its ability to absorb shocks and protect the bones. The image on the screen changed to show damaged, eroded cartilage with obvious signs of wear and tear. As cartilage wears away, Dr. Tanaka continued, his voice deepening. The bones, no longer protected, begin to rub directly against each other. This friction causes inflammation, swelling, and inevitably pain. Pain that, if left untreated, can become chronic and debilitating. He cited an alarming statistic. More than half of people over the age of 60 suffer from joint wear and tear. The most common form is osteoarthritis, a degenerative condition that can seriously impair the quality of life. But what are the factors that contribute to this wear and tear process? Wondered Dr. Tanaka. In addition to age, which is inevitable, there are other factors that play a crucial role. He began by talking about lack of physical activity. He explained that joints need regular movement to stay healthy just as the hinges on a door need to be oiled and used to keep them from rusting. Movement stimulates the production of synovial fluid, the natural lubricant of joints, while inactivity leads to stiffness and increased vulnerability to wear and tear. He referred to scientific studies that show that even moderate exercise can keep cartilage healthy. Next, he addressed the issue of excess weight. He described joints as bridges designed to support a certain load. Every extra pound represents an additional burden on these structures, accelerating the deterioration process, especially in the knees and hips. He cited research confirming the close correlation between excess weight and osteoarthritis. Dr. Tanaka then focused on chronic inflammation, a sneaky and often underestimated enemy. He explained how some foods, unfortunately very common in the modern diet, can trigger a silent inflammatory reaction in the body, a fire that smolders under the ashes and that, over time, damages tissues, including joints. Stress and anxiety, all too frequent companions of contemporary life, can also contribute to fueling this inflammatory state. He cited studies that highlight the crucial role of inflammation in the progression of degenerative joint diseases. Finally, he spoke about nutritional deficiencies. He emphasized the importance of collagen, the structural protein that makes up cartilage, calling it the cement of joints. He also highlighted the critical role of vitamin D, which is essential for calcium absorption and bone health, and magnesium, a mineral involved in numerous metabolic processes, including muscle and nerve function, both of which are crucial to joint health. He cited research showing that a diet rich in these nutrients can help protect joints. And now, announced Dr. Tanaka, in a tone of voice that foreshadowed an important revelation, the time has come to reveal the identities of the three killers, the three main enemies that threaten the health of your joints. Sugar and ultra-processed foods are the first enemies we need to talk about. Do you regularly consume cookies, sugary drinks, packaged fruit juices, or white bread? Asked Dr. Tanaka. If the answer is yes, I urge you to pay close attention. He explained how sugar and ultra-processed foods are among the main culprits of chronic inflammation in the body, a factor that dramatically accelerates the aging process and deterioration of the joints. Sugar, he emphasized, is not only what we add to coffee, but is hidden in many foods under different names, often misleading. This excess sugar stimulates the production of inflammatory substances and promotes the formation of harmful compounds, AGEs, that attack cartilage. He referred to scientific studies that confirm the link between sugar consumption and inflammation. Ultra-processed foods are also rich in trans fats, preservatives, and additives that further worsen the situation. As an alternative, he suggested drastically limiting the consumption of refined sugar, opting for natural sweeteners such as honey, in moderation, or stevia, and preferring whole foods, fresh fruit and vegetables, reducing packaged and industrial products to a minimum. Do you like sausage, hot dogs, bacon, ham, and other deli meats? Dr. Tanaka continued. Again, you need to be very careful. Not all red meat is bad, but processed meats pose a serious risk to joint health. He explained that these products, unlike fresh, lean red meat consumed in moderation, are always high in salt, preservatives, nitrites and nitrates, and often saturated fat, substances that contribute to inflammation and joint damage. In addition, the industrial processing to which these meats are subjected leads to the formation of AGEs, compounds that accelerate aging. He cited studies that link the consumption of processed meats to an increased risk of arthritis. As an alternative, he recommended focusing on oily fish, rich in omega-3s, organic chicken and turkey, and legumes as a source of healthy protein. Then he talked about the third killer, refined vegetable oils and fried foods, the hidden enemy. Finally, said Dr. Tanaka, the third killer, perhaps the most insidious, because it is often present in our daily diet without us realizing it, refined vegetable oils and fried foods. He explained how commonly used oils, such as corn, soybean, and sunflower, are rich in omega-6 fatty acids. Although omega-6s are essential, consuming too much of them, compared to omega-3s, found in fish, walnuts, and flaxseed, creates an imbalance that promotes inflammation. Frying also makes the situation drastically worse because the high temperatures degrade the oils and produce toxic compounds. Dr. Tanaka, after revealing the identity of the 3 killers, moved towards the conclusion of his conference, offering not only a warning, but also a way out, a path of hope and healing. "We've identified the enemies," he said, his voice expressing optimism and determination. "But now it's time to talk about solutions. I don't want to leave you feeling fearful or helpless, but with the knowledge that you have the power to change things, to improve your joint health, to reclaim the joy of movement. There are 3 basic steps, 3 concrete actions you can take, starting today, to protect your bones and joints." He paused to emphasize the importance of what he was about to say. First, transform your diet. Eliminate or drastically reduce the 3 killers we've been talking about: sugar and ultra-processed foods, processed and processed red meats, refined vegetable oils, and fried foods. These foods are like poison to your joints. Instead, choose real, whole, unprocessed foods. Fill your plate with colorful fruits and vegetables, rich in antioxidants and vitamins. Give priority to oily fish, a precious source of omega-3. Consume legumes, seeds, and dried fruit, sources of vegetable proteins, fiber, and essential minerals. And if you really can't give up red meat, choose lean cuts from pastured farms and consume it in moderation. Learn to cook healthily, avoiding frying and preferring gentle cooking methods such as steaming, baking at low temperatures, or pan frying with a little water or broth. He paused again briefly to allow the audience to absorb the information. Second, stay active. Movement is life. Movement is medicine. You don't have to become an Olympic athlete, but it is essential to move your joints every day. Find an activity that you enjoy, that makes you feel good. A walk in the park, a swim in the pool, a dance class, a bike ride, yoga, Pilates. Whatever you enjoy, as long as it moves. Exercise stimulates the production of synovial fluid, lubricates joints, strengthens the muscles that support them, improves flexibility, and reduces pain. Start slowly, listening to your body, and increase the intensity and duration of the exercise over time. If you already have joint problems, consult a physical therapist or sports medicine doctor for a personalized exercise program. He took a deep breath before stating the 3rd point. Third, consider smart supplementation. While a healthy diet and exercise are key, in some cases it may be helpful to supplement with specific substances that support joint health. Curcumin, extracted from turmeric, and gingerol, found in ginger, are powerful natural anti-inflammatories. Homemade bone broth is a source of collagen, glycine, and proline, essential nutrients for cartilage. Omega-3 supplements can help rebalance the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, reducing inflammation. And if you have known deficiencies, your doctor may recommend vitamin D and magnesium supplements. However, it is important to emphasize that supplements are not a shortcut. They do not replace a healthy diet and an active lifestyle, but they can be a valid support if used consciously and under medical supervision. Dr. Tanaka concluded his talk with a message of hope and encouragement. Remember, he said with a gentle smile, your body is a wonderful machine capable of regenerating and healing itself. But it needs your help, your cooperation. Listen to the signals it sends you, respect its needs, nourish your joints with the right foods, keep them moving, and supplement wisely when necessary. The health of your bones and joints is a precious treasure. Take care of this treasure, and you will enjoy a long, active, and joyful life. He bowed again deeply, a gesture of respect and gratitude. The applause that followed was thunderous, prolonged, full of emotion and gratitude. Dr. Tanaka had turned on a light, had shown a way, had offered concrete hope to all those who suffered from joint pain or who simply wanted to preserve the health of their bones and joints for the future. He had transformed fear into awareness and awareness into action. What if we told you that there was a way to keep the raging river of high blood sugar at bay, not just with diet and medications, but with the help of 3 simple, powerful natural allies? What if we told you that thousands of people, just like you, have found relief and hope in an ancient secret kept by an old Japanese healer? Imagine being able to walk again without that shooting pain in your feet, feeling the energy flowing through your veins, protecting your body from the silent ravages of diabetes. It sounds like a dream, right? But for Hiroshi Sato, an elderly healer from a remote village at the foot of Mount Fuji, this is reality. For decades, he has observed the power of 3 specific vitamins, 3 gifts of nature that, combined with a healthy lifestyle, can make a difference in the lives of those battling diabetes. Are you ready to discover Hiroshi's secret? Are you ready to know the 3 Buddhist vitamins a diabetic should take? Then stay until the end of the video. But before we continue, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay updated when we publish new stories like this one. The morning sun filtered through the shoji, the traditional sliding rice paper doors, illuminating the wrinkled but serene face of Hiroshi Sato. Sitting cross-legged on the tatami, the old healer exuded an aura of ancient wisdom, a mixture of deep calm and age-old knowledge. The light scent of sandalwood incense wafted through the room, creating an atmosphere of contemplative quiet. The walls were adorned with ancient scrolls, written with elegant ideograms that told stories of healing and harmony with nature. Before him, a small group of people had gathered, coming from all over Japan and beyond. Some had arrived on the last bullet train, others had traveled for days on winding mountain roads. They were united by a single silent hope, to find relief from the insidious disease that afflicted their bodies, diabetes. They had heard of Hiroshi, the old healer of the village of Shirakawa-go, famous for its traditional gashozukuri houses, keeper of secrets passed down from generation to generation, from father to son, from master to disciple. Hiroshi smiled, a smile that seemed to encompass the entire universe, a smile that conveyed warmth and understanding. "Welcome," he said in a hoarse but firm voice, a voice that carried the weight of years and the lightness of wisdom. "You have come here seeking answers, and I will offer you what I have learned in a life dedicated to studying the balance of body and spirit, observing the cycles of nature, and listening to the messages of the body." He paused, looking at the attentive faces, the faces marked by worry, by tiredness, but also by hope. "Diabetes," he began, using a metaphor that everyone could understand, is like a river in flood. A river that, if left unchecked, can overflow and cause irreparable damage. If the flow of sugar in your blood is not controlled, it can erode the banks of your health, causing damage to your heart, kidneys, eyes, nerves. It can compromise the quality of your life, limit your activities, rob you of the joy of living. But how can we tame this river? How can we channel its force, transforming it into vital energy instead of destruction? He rose slowly, with the grace of an old tree that bends in the wind, but does not break, heading towards a small shelf where several glass bottles containing herbs and colored powders were lined up. They were the treasures of his knowledge, the fruits of years of study and practice. "Nature," he said in a solemn voice, "is our greatest ally. Nature offers us powerful tools to regain our lost balance." A healthy diet, rich in fresh vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and lean proteins, is the basis, the foundation on which to build our health. We must learn to listen to our body, to nourish it with what it really needs, avoiding refined foods, added sugars, saturated fats that poison our organism. He paused briefly to emphasize the importance of those words. But sometimes, he continued, the body needs a little extra help. Sometimes nutritional deficiencies, stress, pollution, age, or illness itself can create imbalances that diet alone cannot fill. And this is where 3 fundamental vitamins come into play, 3 pillars on which the health of those who suffer from diabetes rests. He picked up the first vial, filled with a bright yellow powder like the rising sun. "This," he explained, holding it high like a sacred object, "is vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. Think of how the sun nourishes plants, allowing them to grow strong and healthy, producing flowers and fruit. In the same way, vitamin D nourishes your body, helping it use insulin more efficiently. Insulin is the key hormone that allows glucose, the sugar in your blood, to enter your cells and be used as energy." A middle-aged woman, her face marked by worry and tiredness, raised her hand. "Master," she asked in a timid voice, I live in the city in an apartment on the 5th floor, and I rarely see the sun. I spend most of my time indoors in the office, under artificial lights. Hiroshi nodded, understanding. I understand. Unfortunately, many of us, especially those who live in urban environments, those with darker skin, or those who are past a certain age, are unable to produce enough vitamin D through exposure to the sun. As we age, our skin loses the ability to synthesize this vitamin efficiently. That's why it's important to supplement it. Thousands of people I've followed over the years, people from all over the world, have seen their insulin sensitivity improve and their blood sugar levels decrease thanks to this vitamin. They've seen increased energy, better weight regulation, and a reduction in the risk of complications. He picked up a second vial containing a white crystalline powder as fine as freshly fallen snow. This, he said, is vitamin B12, the energy vitamin, the vitality vitamin. Diabetes, if not properly controlled, can damage the nerves, causing tingling, numbness, burning, and pain, especially in the feet and hands. This condition is called diabetic neuropathy, and it is one of the most common and disabling complications of diabetes. An old man, leaning on a carved bamboo staff, nodded sadly. I know that pain well, master, he said hoarsely. It prevents me from walking as I would like, from doing the things I love. I feel like a dry tree, deprived of its lifeblood. Vitamin B12, Hiroshi continued reassuringly, is essential for nerve health. It helps protect nerves, repair damage, and regenerate nerve fibers. Many of my patients have found relief from the symptoms of diabetic neuropathy with this vitamin. They've regained sensation, their pain has decreased, and they've been able to walk with greater confidence. But be careful, he added, with a serious expression. Vitamin B12 is a particular vitamin, difficult to absorb, especially for those who suffer from diabetes or take certain medications, such as metformin, which can interfere with its absorption. It is important to choose the right form, the active form, such as methocobalamin, that the body can use more easily and immediately. Finally, he picked up the last bottle, which contained a powder the color of ochre, like fertile earth in the fields. This, he said, is vitamin C, the vitamin of protection, the vitamin of resilience. Diabetes, unfortunately, increases oxidative stress in the body, a process similar to rust that damages cells, which accelerates aging and promotes the development of disease. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant, a warrior that fights this process, that protects our cells from free radicals, the unstable molecules that cause damage. A young woman, her eyes full of hope and determination, asked, Master, isn't vitamin C found in fruits and vegetables? Isn't it enough to eat oranges, lemons, kiwis, peppers? Absolutely, Hiroshi replied with an encouraging smile. Vitamin C is abundant in many fruits and vegetables, but if you have diabetes, your need for vitamin C may be higher. Oxidative stress caused by high blood sugar increases your body's demand for antioxidants. Supplementation may help protect blood vessels, reduce the risk of cardiovascular complications, improve wound healing, a common problem for diabetics, and strengthen your immune system. Hiroshi sat back down in his meditative position, looking at his listeners with a fatherly gaze. These 3 vitamins, he said, his voice calm but firm, are not a miracle cure. They are not a magic wand that will make diabetes go away, but they are powerful tools, valuable tools that, along with a healthy diet, regular exercise, proper medical care, and careful management of stress, can help you manage your diabetes, improve the quality of your life, and live a longer, healthier, and happier life. He paused, letting his words sink in. Remember, he added with a wise smile, the human body is a miracle of balance, a complex and wonderful system. Listen to its signals, nourish it wisely, give it the support it needs, respect its rhythms, and never forget the power of hope, of determination, of the will to take care of yourself. Health is the most precious thing, and taking care of it is an act of love for yourself, for life, for the future. The morning sun, now high in the sky, flooded the room with light, a warm golden light, illuminating the faces of those present. They were no longer faces marked by worry, anxiety, fear. They were faces illuminated by a new awareness, a new hope, a new determination. They had learned something precious that day, something that went beyond simple words, beyond simple prescriptions. They had learned that healing is a journey, a path that requires commitment, knowledge, patience, and the wisdom to listen to your body, to respect its needs, to collaborate with nature. And as they left the old healer's house, they took with them not only the 3 precious vitamins, but also the wisdom of Hiroshi, a priceless treasure that would guide them on their path to a healthier and happier life. A path, that of healing, that starts from a healthy diet, passes through a conscious integration, and culminates in the harmony between body, mind, and spirit. Because, as Hiroshi always said, health is not just the absence of disease. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. It is the ability to live fully, to enjoy every moment, to face the challenges of life with strength and serenity. And this, he often added, is a goal that everyone can achieve with commitment, perseverance, and the right guidance.